What's going on YouTube? Thanks for tuning into the channel. It's your boy Devin Coates coming to you with a video here with 5 tips for you to get back on track for the goals that you have for this year. So obviously it's been a while since a lot of you guys have seen me. I made a lot of videos, just haven't really posted them or edited them. So, got to really finish your tasks. But a lot has gone on. I'll give you the short and sweet. The rest I'll kind of catch you up in the next few weeks. I moved to Brooklyn sometime in November, so that's why you see the new spot. But let's just hop right in. So 5 tips for getting back on track, mostly towards the goals that you have for 2019. I know a lot of people set goals at the beginning of the year. A month or two passes, they fall off. It's the summertime. It's hot out. People are feeling good. So you probably want to get back on that and make sure that you finish the year strong. So the first tool that I have that I'm actually using, because I'm in that same boat, is tracking. So I journal a lot. I have like a journal here. It's like filled with pages. So I'm writing all the time. So you want to track a lot of what you're doing. There's a really good book on this called The Bullet Journal. I don't use everything from the book, but just kind of the concepts. You can even Google it if you don't want to pay for anything. But yeah, tracking. So everything you're doing, you want to track. You want to see if you're progressing week to week. It's also a good reminder when you're tracking, when you're writing things down. It imprints in your brain a little bit better, I feel. But also, you want to make it very simple. You don't want to create something too elaborate. If it's not something you're going to stick to, you're going to give up. That's probably my biggest struggle when I started journaling, and I still uncover today, is that I'll have these elaborate plans for things I want to do, and then it's just not something that's easy to fit in day to day. The last part is you want to make it fun. You want to make it like a game. Like, as humans, we love games. So I really love games. I'm pretty competitive. But you want to make it a game. So like, try to score points. Create it in a system that, you're having fun, and it does give you that dopamine rush every time you complete something, or every time you even start to complete something, that you're about to score the points. So you're kind of creating that, when the obsessive gambler hits the slot machine and starts running, when they get that almost hit, like, you're getting that almost hit for just starting. So that's number 1. Number 2 is going to be habituate. I think this is probably the biggest one. It's kind of what I was getting to when I'm saying keep it simple. You want something that can be a habit, something that you can do every single day or 5 to 6 days a week. I know Grant Cardone says anything worth doing is worth doing every day. So you want to make it something that is going to be, for all of your goals, you want to make it something that is ingrained in your daily routine. If day to day you're not moving towards that goal, then at the end you're always going to find these excuses. And there's a great book that I'm listening to right now called The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield, who talks about resistance. If it's not in your habit, you're going to run into resistance, and you need to show up every day, just as you would do for a normal occupation where you're getting paid for. You have to do it daily. It has to be a habit. It has to be something you're attacking every day, whatever that goal is, or multiple goals you have. Number 3, that's going to be planning the day before. This really goes into habituating and making it simple from the last 2, but you want to plan everything the day before. You don't want to wake up groggy, especially if you're waking up early. This is something I learned when I started waking up at 5, and something I'm going to start doing again. I didn't really have anything to do when I started doing that for the first time, and I'd wake up and then I'd be like, I can go back to sleep, I don't have shit to do. So you definitely want to wake up and have like a list of things to do. So at 5, when you're tired and you're in this mode where it's like, I want to go back to sleep, what can I sacrifice? At least you have a list of things that you're not trying to sacrifice that will move you towards the goal. So whatever you're doing, you want to plan the day before, just because you might have unintended feelings. And then the very obvious, there's interruptions, unforeseen circumstances that happen all the time that you might spend time to address. And you want to be able to look back and see, I did handle XYZ that came up today, but still my goals that I wrote down last night, I still achieved those, or I didn't achieve those, and I need to put them on for the next day. But whatever you may have, it's a good way to have everything, so you don't have to memorize it. You don't have to do the mental work of trying to come up with things to do. You wake up, you hit the ground running, because all of that mental work, everything you've done, has been done the night before. And then if you want to get a little bit woo-woo into the subconscious, was I do believe this is true, that writing it down and doing these things, your brain will already start to make these things happen for you. So it's not going to be like something that you have to do. It's actually going to be easier because your brain's already, your subconscious, the part that you're not even controlling, is already working to accomplish those tasks because you wrote them in the nighttime the day before, rather than writing it in the morning where you're all conscious and it's just all stuff that you have to come up with on your own. Number 4, that's going to be energy management. So one thing that a lot of people talk about all the time is time management. I'm not like a huge fan of time management because I have definitely experienced in multiple times in my life where I might have a lot of time to do, so let's say study. College is a great example. I might have like days to study, and I can extend that time for multiple days to study. But then I've had times where I work these different days, and I know I got to get my sleep in these specific hours, and then in 3 hours I study and get the same amount done as what I've done in multiple days. So I don't like to look at time. I like to look more at energy management over time management, and I'll kind of explain why. So time is kind of just it's just a container, but it's not really, doesn't really show anything. If you are dead tired and you just ran a marathon, I can give you 3 hours to do 50 pull-ups, and you probably wouldn't be able to do it. If you have full energy and I told you to do 50 pull-ups, you could probably easily bang that out in an hour. So the time was not really the issue, it was the energy. So what I like to focus on is how much energy do I have, and am I, one, fueling my system correctly with good food, a lot of water. I think water is probably the most important, good sleep, and those types of habits. Am I fueling my energy? And then how am I utilizing my energy? Am I spending my energy, early in the day when I have the most willpower? Am I spending that on, critical tasks that take a lot of willpower? Am I removing some of that out of the way by doing things the day before? So I don't even need to do the mental power of what I need to do. The list is already built for me the day prior. I would really focus on energy management. So just making sure that you have the correct amount of energy to perform at the times you want to perform and to achieve the certain tasks. Time is obviously important, but I think that's a second thought, because if you have a lot of energy, you can probably accomplish more in a shorter amount of time than somebody who had low energy in a lot of time. So I think monitoring your energy and making sure that you're getting the right sleep, you're having the right nutrition in terms of food and water intake, and then sleep. I think sleep is so important. You have to get at minimum like 6 hours of sleep. I feel I'm anywhere under 6, I'm definitely functioning suboptimally, and I think 7 or 8 to 9 is like, that's super ideal. But 7 or 8 I'm good. 9, anything past 9 though, that's the other caveat. I'm not a fucking scientist, I'm not a sleep doctor or nothing, but what I've definitely realized is that when I oversleep or I nap excessively, I'm way more tired than if I take one good rest or a very short 10 under 30-minute type of nap. I'm still good to go. But if I start sleeping for 10 hours, like if I let's just be honest, I drank, maybe I got hungover, and maybe you could say it's the hangover, but I've had experiences where I woke up in 6 hours with a hangover. I go to work out, I sleep for 10, 12 hours, man, I don't want to get out of my bed. I'm watching Netflix, I'm not doing anything. So I would say that you want to make sure you're getting your sleep, but if you're sleeping too much and you feel like you're running away from stuff, cut the sleep down. Sleep is not, you can't sleep too much. So I think anything over 9 for me personally is too much sleep. Anything over a 30-minute nap, too much sleep, and it's going to fuck with my energy. So that's the other piece, is energy management over time management. And the last one, because I see this is getting a little bit long, is number 5, which is don't get the fuck it mentality. This is something I learned from Brandon Carter. I took a few of his courses a little while back, but one big thing he always talked about is not getting the fucking mentality. What the fucking mentality is, it's easy on a diet. So let's say your diet was perfect in the morning, you did your fasted cardio, you did your fasted workout, drinking black coffee, you're all ketoed out. I'm on the Brandon Carter metaphor, if you guys know. And then you're eating all that, and then all of a sudden you eat a fucking birthday cake, which is the most un-keto shit you could probably eat. So you eat a birthday cake, and now you're like, fuck it, I fucked up. So now you have the rest of the day, it's only 2 o'clock. You know, you have another 7, 8 hours. Actually, you have the whole week because you still got to diet. The diet's not over. The fuck it mentality, what that would say is like, fuck it, I screwed up. I'm going to McDonald's, and then fuck the diet. Next day, I'm fucking up too because I already fucked up. So what's the point in keeping going? This is something I succumb to a ton. Is that when I fuck up, it just starts to compile. So you need to nip that in the bud. You make one mistake, you got to have the mindset of a Super Bowl quarterback that threw a pick in the first quarter of the game. You know, you threw that interception, they ran it back, pick six. You come back for that next drive, you got to shut all that shit out your mind. You can't be thinking, is that defender going to jump my route? Is this guy going to sack me? Am I really as good as I am? You know, fuck it. We're going to lose anyway. Let's give up and take a knee. You know, that's stupid shit. Nobody would do that in a sports competition, but you have to have that mentality that I'm going to keep going. I'm going to stay on course whether or not, you know, a wind blew me off course for a little bit, or I tripped and fell and skinned my knee and looked like Peter Griffin for 30 seconds saying, sorry, these jokes are bad. But otherwise, you will always fall off because you're always going to make mistakes. You're always going to take a step back. It's never going to be a straight linear line. So don't gain the fucking mentality. Stay on course, and when you mess up, just understand like what you did, what the triggers led up to it, how you felt afterwards. I think that's a big one because that's the big thing that helps me is when I start thinking, you know, if I eat this, if I do this, I'm going to feel like shit. But if I do this and I eat this, I'm going to feel fucking great. And I'm not even talking about health-wise. I'm talking about mentally-wise because you know what you need to do. But this video is getting a little long. Thanks a lot for anybody who's stuck around for the years. You know, I've been putting these up. I definitely got a lot of things planned. But yeah, these are definitely some great tips. I have a course that I want to have coming out in the next few months, definitely by the end of the year. It's going to be very incorporated with this. But thanks a lot for all the attention you guys have given me. If you like the content, like, comment, subscribe. If you don't like the content, just dislike it. I don't really care. Any feedback is great. But yeah, thanks a lot for tuning in. I'm back. It's your boy Devin Coates. You know what it is. Peace out.